Hi, I'm Mike Lowe for Digital Camera, and this is our review of the latest compact system camera, the NX200. It's got a 20.3 megapixel sensor, which makes it the second highest resolution compact system camera that's on the market. One of the features unique to the Samsung NX series is the inclusion of a function button called iFunction on the lens itself, and this applies to all of the current lenses. Pressing the button loads up 5 of the most commonly used options, which can then be cycled through by using the focus ring on the lens itself. There's no doubt that the NX200 pushes things forward in terms of design. The previous NX100 may have looked pretty, but it lacked the functionality and was rather chunky. The NX200, on the other hand, trims the design down to a sensible size, is constructed from an aluminium frame and has a prominent front grip that makes holding the camera all the better. The NX200's DRIM3 processing engine assists in recording images from ISO 100 through to 12,800 at full resolution, can capture shots at 7 frames per second, and also offers 1080p movie clips as MP4 files. Built without a viewfinder, the focus is on the rear screen, which is a 3-inch 614K AMOLED screen, which is a far better technology than LCD. In use, a press of the function button brings up pretty much all the options that you could want on the screen itself, and this makes selecting different options all the easier. Amid the NX200 specifications, Samsung has brought attention to lots of speed quotations. A 640 millisecond startup time, 400 milliseconds shot-to-shot time, and 100 milliseconds focus acquisition time make the camera sound like quite the speed demon. Although the startup and focusing times are very good, it's other areas where the NX200 comes up a little short. A RAW shot, for example, takes between 8 and 9 seconds to process the file to the card. Now that's a long time. It's still possible to shoot other frames during processing, but other than aperture, shutter and exposure compensation, all the other settings are locked down. The 7 frames per second burst mode is impressive, but again the waiting time can make it a bit of a downer. Included in the box is a flash which has a guide number of 8, and it can be taken off and attached to the hot shoe as so. At the moment there's no electronic viewfinder for this, and the previous viewfinder for the NX100 had an accessory port that obviously is not compatible with the latest model, so we're hoping that perhaps in the future we'll see a new viewfinder model for the NX200. One of the complaints we had about the previous NX100 was its battery life, and unfortunately the NX200 isn't much better in this department. We weren't able to get the quoted 350 shots per charge, and actually on our first charge we didn't even manage to achieve half of this. The 3-bar battery display is also poor in providing feedback. An accurate percentage system would provide a far more user-friendly method. When a sensor packs in the megapixels, it does ring a few alarm bells as to whether image quality will hold up. A sensor dense with pixels means less light is available, and therefore the signal isn't as strong or clean as it could be. In fact, the NX200's low light shots are a wonderful sight to behold. The camera blew any preconceptions we may have had out of the water. There's bags of detail on offer from ISO 100 to 200, and detail is still very good from ISO 400 to 800. In the menus, the auto ISO tops out at ISO 3200, and for good reason. ISO 6400 should be used for emergencies only, and frankly would rather that the ISO 12800 setting wasn't even available, as it's soft and blotchy to the point of a near write-off. But not to dwell on the highest ISO negative, we're otherwise very impressed with the detail that the NX200 can produce. All things considered, and the NX200 has lots of promise for landscape and portrait work, particularly when matched up with one of its more advanced lenses. Although £699 may sound like quite an investment, what the NX200 gives you in return is exceptional image quality. As well as that, it's easy to use, and we're impressed with the range of lenses also available for it. However, the raw processing time and battery life are two quite major downsides that detract from what is otherwise a great camera that's far better than the NX100 was. Overall, we give it 88% and our recommended award.